Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Empyrion Galactic Survival Episode 8. I'm Enigmius, and today we're going to be mostly building our first small vessel. But first we're going to take a very quick look at the expansion that we've done to our base, because it's a very simple expansion, but it makes for a lot more space. We've more than doubled the interior. And I've added 3 large constructors, just because sometimes waiting on materials is maybe not the thing that I want to be doing, so I have the option of making more faster. We've got a med bay, which allows us to respawn from here if we die, and also to regenerate our health without having to eat food or take medicine. I'm not sure exactly how it works. I think that maybe you just stand near it, because it doesn't give me a prompt or anything when I get near it to open it, use it, whatever. So that's the med bay. Maybe it's broken. Maybe it's buggy. We'll find out someday. We're going to go directly up here. And by up, I mean up, not through the door. It keeps opening and closing. This area over here is the roof of the area that we were just standing in, that we expanded. We've been steadily expanding our garden, and the primary reason why I'm doing this, I mentioned before, is it's excellent experience. If you look in the lower left screen, right above my health indicator, as I grab these goodies off of these plants, it's 200 experience. Oh, we can't harvest that one yet. It's 200 experience per plant that we harvest, and it's 100 experience per plant that we plant. So this is probably the fastest way I can think of to gain experience towards level ups, which bring us the all-important unlock points. And we've brought it... Oh, look at all this. Tomatoes. You know what? We're going to leave these for now, because we're not having a tomato harvesting episode. We're having a take a look at our base before we start building something cool episode. I expanded the deck down here, so that we'll have more room to build, and we will have the option to expand it even farther. You can see it actually goes a fair ways out here, even though you can't necessarily see it. Like, we're not much farther from calling it a bridge than we are calling it a construction deck. And this is specifically so that I would have as much room as I wanted to kind of spread out and do what I want to do. I am going to be adding some perimeter lighting. I was going to do that before I started recording, but then I realized that the sun was going to be up in a very short amount of time, and it wouldn't be necessarily as important. The only other thing that I've done... I just love the way that's starting to look up there. The only other thing that I've done, you see that green sort of machine that's right beside the blue sort of machine? The blue one was the oxygen generator that we placed at the very beginning of the game. The green one is oxygen and hydrogen that it's getting out of the water, and the hydrogen can be used to make fuel packs, which is kind of I guess you could say, a low-cost way of putting fuel in your base without having to use up promethium to do it. So we're going to run it for a little while, see how it does. And of course, there's the hover vessel, the tank up there. Every time I look at it now, it reminds me of a tank. I used to think that it looked awful, and now I think it looks still mostly awful, but also not bad, because it kind of resembles a tank. So, we have all kinds of things that we want to do that start with the placing of this small vessel starter. And I kind of feel... Alright, so it's going to force me to place it here. I'm not sure if that's going to be the place that I'm going to be happiest with it, but that's where it is, and for now that's where it's going to be, and where we're going to have to live with it. So the whole idea here is, one of the things that I've learned from the hover vehicle is that it's a little bit unnerving, especially at night, when you're trying to do things with the machines that you're accessing from the outside of the vehicle, because you never know what's going to sneak up behind you and do horrible things. So I wanted to have an actual interior walk space where we could go inside and access our machines and take care of everything that we need to from there, and not have to worry so much about what's going on around us. So this intersection that we're going to build, that's not the size we want. This is going to be for the machines and the machines only. And then the outer sections are going to be acting like spaced armor, I think, is how we're going to set it up. Now, there was a viewer left me the tip about drawing lines with the blocks to place them faster. And also, check this out. If you've got blocks that you want to place in places that you can't reach with your guy very easily, you can use this little drone. It's like a little construction drone that you can take. You can't take it very far away from your character, but you can place your blocks and do what you want, and then fly around and fly back down, and then when you're done, you just put it away. That is like one of the coolest ideas that I've ever seen in a voxel kind of game, is giving you that option to scoot around for building purposes and build what needs to be built without having to worry about how you're going to hover in one place or having to build temporary structures to support yourself while you're building. So I think we need bigger. It's just, I was looking at it, I'm like, is that done? Is that enough? I don't think it is. I want to be really careful about the weight, but the nice thing is we're going to have it kind of set up on this platform here so we can gauge as we go whether or not we've outstripped the ability of our thrusters to help keep us aloft. I've made armored thrusters for this guy as opposed to the regular thrusters or maneuvering thrusters that we had on the hover vehicle, and that's specifically so that we can engage with a variety of different scenarios that we might normally have kind of said, I don't like the way that's looking for me. Specifically, some of the bases that we might come across. I had one in a previous start that I was just learning the game and kind of getting things sorted out. And it had like a cannon thing, like as a slow rate of fire, but really, really heavy hits on top of a building made out of like metal blocks. And it was guarded by 2 mini drones, the minigun drones. So there was that to be aware of. It was a little bit intimidating. And I can see already that we're going to need more of the armored blocks. First, we're going to go for the ramp top. And then we spin it. Yes, like that. Beautiful. We'll drag it along. What are you doing, Mr. Ramp? Is that as far as you'll let me go? See, I realized as I was kind of planning this in my head what I wanted to do and how I was going to do it, that you read in the description that it's a small ship. And that kind of, I think, sets a tone in some people's minds, specifically mine, that sort of limits how big you're willing to try and make it. Which in this case would have been a damn shame, because this could be the ship that we use to conquer this entire damn planet. But it's not going to work as well as we might like if we just build this wee tiny little thing that can barely do anything on its own. So I was kind of glad to have that momentary epiphany where it said, you know what, just build it out as big as you can and make the bad guys pay for all of the horrible things they've been trying to do to you since you landed on this planet, like feeding you to the plant monsters and all that other stuff. I guess the photocells just turned off. The outdoor photocells. Thanks. Photocells. Oh, I know what happened. We ran out of power. Fortunately, I just happened to keep some on hand. I know, I could have shift-clicked and got it into the inventory. I thought it was something sneaky like the exterior lights turning off. And you... There we go. I just want to get us set up and making more of these heavy armor blocks because we've got lots of those. I want to see if we have any out here. I think I put some out here as well. No. If I had any out there, I've long since moved them away. So we're going to make some of these guys. We're just going to say make 100. And then they'll make something like 100. I don't know. And then we'll come back and we'll pick them up and we'll build some more. But we have enough now to at least get a start on placing everything for our happy little small ship. And it's wide open. We have an opportunity to kind of decide for ourselves where we want everything to go, I think. For example, if I put that there, I'm going to regret it. what we should do first is look at placing the generators. Oh, hello. Now, can we rotate? It looks like we can. So, it's back to plan A. We're going to put this guy here. And this guy here. And then we're going to take the generators. And we're going to... oh, there we go. Place that guy there. And that guy there. 2 generators might be overkill. I'm okay with that. We have 1 generator in the hover vehicle, and it hardly gets anywhere near 10% even max capacity when we're flying around. But because we're actually flying and not hovering, I think 2 might be a good idea. If it's not necessary, we can always take them away. We need these RCS guys. These are sort of like the gyros that allow us to maneuver and do all those fun things. And we're going to put 1 there and 1 there, and that way we can come back and put 2 more if we decide we want a little bit more maneuverability. And we have the doors, we have the landing gears, we have the cockpit. I think we might want to hold off on placing the cockpit. But the automatic doors, I made 2 for a reason, but I'm not sure it was the best reason. I might need to make 2 more, but we're going to start off with these guys like that. And then we're going to go check on the status of our blocks inside. Alright, we're back with a few more heavy armor blocks, hardened steel blocks. We're just going to do there we go, like that, and like that. I'm going to bring it around this side. There we go. That. And now I have to give a little thought to how we're going to set this up. I don't think it's going to be super complicated. We will go up like so. And up like so. So I realized that I placed that door wrong. Had to go out 1 block. So we've removed it, moved the frame, and now we're just waiting on the new door to be built so that we can place it in there. I'm glad I caught it now, as opposed to having built around it with a bunch of other things. Because the demolition and reconstructing in this game is not set up to be a quick and easy process. But we're back to the task at hand. We're just kind of blocking this out. Despite what I just said about it not being easy to modify things after the fact, I still kind of like the idea of blocking things out and seeing how they look and then making adjustments and kind of moving on from there incrementally. I end up with a better experience, I think, doing it that way than trying to do it all at once and then getting frustrated if it doesn't look the way that I wanted it to, or any of the other number of disastrous things that can happen. So for this, I'm aiming at kind of a cylinder-like shape. That was completely the wrong thing to do. Building at night, running lights from the ship actually off of a generator that's using a hydrogen fuel pack. I kind of like that setup. It's cheap, it's easy, it doesn't require a lot of thought. It's just put it together and watch it go. We've added some machines. We've added 3 of the ship-size constructors. We've added our oxygen station and an oxygen tank. We'll probably add some more oxygen tanks before we're done, just for the convenience of having multiple. And now I just need to decide where to place our storage. And I think ultimately we'll be happiest with storage closest to the machines that are most likely to use it. So I still don't even know which one of these is the front side and which is the back. I don't think it matters. And we'll have a fridge, 3 fridges. And again, this isn't so much for what we might bring with us as it is with what we might bring back. Being able to store things and not have to worry about them going bad is kind of a nice idea, I think. So we've got 2 more automatic doors ready to be used. We've got plenty of hydrogen fuel packs if we need them. Oh, ammo boxes. And these ones probably want to go on this side. And we'll pretend that the reason we're putting them on this side is for even weight distribution. Even though it's mostly just to kind of keep things looking sort of even. That's not bad. That's a pretty tidy, compact little machine room for all practical intents and purposes, and plenty of room to add more if we decide that that's what we want to do down the line. So now we're going to finish closing this guy up. At least the cylinder part of it. And then once that's done, we can kind of give a little bit of thought to where we're going to put the cockpit and how everything is going to fit together. And from there, it'll be mostly a cosmetic sort of thing. We are going to be mounting a fairly substantial number of weapons on this guy, I think. Just because we know there are going to be some things that we encounter that involve technology. The bases, like I mentioned, with the big cannon on top. And we also know that we're going to be encountering things that don't involve technology, and using things like missiles and stuff like that on them would be kind of a waste. Using missiles, or rockets, I think maybe the term is, I'm not 100% sure, on like the plant monsters, probably not the best use of resources. I like the shine off of these at nighttime, but now I have to get up top and figure out how specifically I want to close this up, and I think I know. So this is the cockpit design that I've chosen for this particular ship, and it was, I mean, I've got a number of them unlocked, and it was just a matter of looking at them and saying, yeah, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There's nothing specifically about this aside from the looks that I decided to go with. We're going to have to do a little bit of sculpting to get this to merge with the actual body of the ship, because if I just stick it there, it would look pretty silly. Pretty silly indeed. So that's something that we'll look at in the next episode. I'll probably do that off camera, just because it's a lot of block spinning and kind of humming and hawing and stuff like that. It's really difficult to do, even given the amount of editing that's already going into this episode, to keep it a little bit lighter. It's not something that I want to do with the kind of sculpting that'll be fitting this cockpit, but we'll look at it in detail in the next episode. We'll also be looking at what we're going to do with the back end, and then we're going to switch from the hardened blocks, the armored blocks, to the lighter ones that are going to be easier on the consumables, easier on the resources, and because we're going to be building quite a bit more onto this guy, so that it looks hopefully as badass as I'm starting to feel when I'm standing in this thing and it's all shiny and awesome on the inside. I hope we're not the ones expected to mop up after we drag in the dino carcasses. Anyways, next episode, like I say, we'll be focusing on the cockpit, the back end, and then we're going to be switching to the different material and start building it out from there. If you want to be notified about that episode, the easiest way to do that is to subscribe to my channel or follow me on social media. Links for social media are always in the information box below the video. Feel free to leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.